So my daughter got into cooking basically. She was always interested in, when she was young, helping in the kitchen.
Licking spoons to start with, and then progressing on to making little cakes for a friend, for make-believe parties in the garden or whatever.
My mum would always shut the door on me and go, oh God, Annie's just cooking. But I always wanted to cook. My mum cooked, so I just wanted to cook like mum and just bake.
I'm terrible, but I used to call her Mrs Messy.
Because it was hands into everything, fingers into everything, licking everything.
When I first wanted to become a cook, I've always liked cooking with my mum, so she always used to put me like on top of the kitchen top to eat whatever was left in the cookie bowl or the cake bowl. And I just remember smells of cooking in the house, at my grandma's house.
And she used to watch Delia cooking, and also we bought her a book one Christmas called The Dougal Cookbook. There used to be a programme for children called The Magic Roundabout, and this Dougal was a dog, and he was a very popular character was Dougal, so they decided to do a Dougal cookbook.
Dougal's Magic Roundabout cookbook, yeah. Lots of mouth-watering dishes for children to make with Dougal and his Magic Roundabout friends. And so I think I got this when I was about 5. This was, I love making things from this book. So you can see from the pages, I used to make these ones a lot, moon mountains. You can see splodges on the page. I love them. Grandma's cooking was just immense. So we go up to Lancashire to see my grandma, and she would just, the smell of cooked bread would just come out of the kitchen, and she'd have these massive white loaves that just looked like they come from the bakery that she'd made. And then she'd have these apple pies on the table and blackberry pies on the table, and she'd made sausage rolls. And then if we were going there for Sunday lunch, she'd have a massive roast dinner there, and it would just smell, and you go, that's the roast dinner smell.
I always remember my mum never weighed any ingredients. She just used to put all the flour in a bowl if she was making bread, and just guess the yeast that she used to use. I could never do it like that. I have to weigh my measurements to be precise. We had a range, and you had a coal fire, and you had to stoke the fire up to get it really hot. You had to really guess the heat of the oven. There was no temperatures, and so she had to wait till it got really hot.
Miss Parfitt as a teacher was kind. She was a teacher at secondary school that you wanted to go to her class. She made you feel welcome, she was fun, and I just really enjoyed her lessons.
Her lessons were always fun, and the kids really enjoyed them. She was always very quick. She's very quick at getting things done, and that's really important when you're on a deadline. And she always did fantastic displays. It was wonderful to have in the department.
Her food lessons were fun. I only have good memories about Miss Parfitt's lessons. She always made us feel like we couldn't get it wrong. There was always a way about whatever we brought in, we would make it work. There was no pressure that I remember with the lessons.
Sunbun, you made me leave Wallingford School. Well, yeah, because I was a bit like, I wanted to spend time with you. You were, I think, 7, and I was like, no, I need to spend time with Sunbun.
Thoroughly encouraged it. In fact, I even sent her a card. I can't remember quite what it was, but it was something about don't clip your wings and fly.
I thought I wanted to teach. Sunbun could cook, but I thought, I'm not sure all the youngsters can cook as much as Sunbun can. So I wanted to get youngsters cooking rather than starting them at secondary school to cook, because they used to come in and do a fruit salad, and I was like, no, they need to be doing more than this earlier. When I started my business, I was like, what am I going to call it? Like, I was working at Wallingford School, and I set up, got an iPad, And Mr Bun said to me, you need an email address. And I'm like, what, I need an email address? He said, so what name would you like for your email address? And I thought, I like baking, happy families I used to play when I was younger. And I thought, oh, maybe Mrs Bun the Baker, that would be okay. So let's call it Mrs Bun the Baker. The advent of social media was happening, and there was this thing called Wallingford Piper, and I put on there anybody interested in their kids cooking, and then somebody put, oh, would you like to teach my toddler to cook? And I thought, oh wow, really? And yeah, lots of messages came in for that. So then I put an advert up on there, and then yeah, it went from there. It was slow to start with, and then people were like, oh, toddlers can cook, I can get my child to cook, we're cooking, and then word spread. Parents say that, oh, you taught my child when they were 3 and now they're 8 and they're just going, yes, I've got to use the bridge hold and I've got to do this and you're holding that wrong. And
it was nice to get away. It was, you know, good school week, good college week, and then you just get to, for like an hour or whatever, you just get away from everything. Love baking, cooking, so yeah.
I wanted her to have my teacher, and I said she taught me, and you know, Mummy went to, I was at school and she was my teacher, and I think that was my original reason why, because it was just like a nice feeling. And as soon as we went there, I saw how amazing she was with the children, and we've enjoyed the classes ever since.
I was really keen to do a cookery class with Harry, William's older brother, and when we moved into the area, I searched it up, and it's just been brilliant, and Harry has loved it and still likes to cook. He likes to cook comedy pies, actually.
Like a chef?
Yeah, you're a little chef, aren't you?
I think it's really important for them to learn the skills that you give them and help them give them, and try lots of different things.
Dana has loved the classes and often asked to do Mrs Bun the Baker. She really, really enjoys it.
Yeah, so not only do I do my classes at Cholsey Pavilion in the kitchen, but I also work with nursery, so I work with Highmore Nursery. I work with loads of schools in the area, too many to mention. I work with SOA Housing, I work with the Oratory School after school classes. I work with Childhood Tumour Trust, which is amazing. I worked with loads of children's centres, which is fantastic to work with them. And doing the 24-hour bake-along with Simply Good Food with Peter Sidwell, that was really good. Really enjoyed that, and Sunbun was part of that.
I went on it for a bit, and I cut myself a little finger when I was putting the grater in the sink. It was the first accident of the entire thing.
Just like really down to earth, and just really, like me, I think just really enjoyed cooking, so it was really lovely to meet him. Carfest was amazing.
Mrs Bun was going to be on stage on the guest food fair stage, and the last time it happened was just immense. Meeting, you know, she was able to meet Raymond Blanc.
Just the nicest person, talking to him about his grandma's apple pie and my grandma's apple pie together at Carfest was fantastic.
There was just a huge, massive audience, brilliant photograph of Mrs Bun with all the children and adults, and the audience was phenomenal.
Oh, so I had this class, when did Mrs Bun start? So Mrs Bun started in 2014 and been going for a while, and about 6 months in, this mum emailed me and said, oh, my son Nathan would really like to join your class. I see you're starting on a Monday. And I was like, oh yeah, cool, yeah. So it was a new class starting on a Monday, and so I had, they were about 13 then when they started.
The group we had was very good. It was very good. We all got on relatively well. There was times, you know, obviously we had our mishaps, but...
And this class just stayed with me. It was like school. They like went from, you know, the first year, the second year, the third year, the fourth year, the fifth year. They decided to take it as a sixth form option. So they were with me in sixth form.
We did a Christmas one, and we were all singing Christmas songs. And it was like a 2-hour one, and it was amazing. I love that one.
And then COVID struck us.
We didn't really get a goodbye either.
Coronavirus. The coronavirus. Coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades. And this country...
Fabulous, right. Okay, it is Friday. It's 4 o'clock, well it's 4:10 now, and it's free. It's Friday Bake-Along, let's start! When COVID struck, Mrs Bun was a bit stuck really, because I didn't have any classes to go to. So I discovered this thing called Zoom and thought, we could Zoom our way into cooking still. So figured out what Zoom was all about and set up some Zoom classes, and then thought, actually, everybody's at home like me. Why don't we bake every week? So from the first Friday of lockdown, we baked every week for the whole year, doing ones in the holidays as well, and just had Friday. 4 o'clock, well it's 4:10 now, and it's free. It's Friday Bake-Along. So it was really good fun getting people from all over the world as well. Canada, Australia, all over Europe. I met so many different people who still now come along and do some bake-alongs, which is amazing.